guys? This is Nghtmre, and you are watching an exclusive interview for Sindhèn app. Enjoy. Peace. It comes from my real name, actually.
Okay.
My name's Tyler Moreni, and when I played sports and stuff as a kid, my nickname was Nghtmre, like T, and then T from Tyler, and then the first 4 letters of my last name, and then that's Tmare, and then so when I was producing, when I was younger and all through college, that was kind of the name that I was just using because it was just my nickname and it was natural. And then I moved to LA and went to a music school, and then once I kind of fine-tuned my production skills a little bit better and was happy with how my music was sounding, I was going to start and the last 5 letters of Nghtmre are Tmre, and so that's kind of where it is. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot less like when I sit down to try to make something cool, I'm not all right, I'm gonna make this weird, crazy sound. It's all right, I'm gonna experiment until I find something cool and then figure out a way to incorporate it, you know what I mean? So it's usually a lot more of a process of making a bunch of different types of things, or starting with a really simple sound and adding effects and going through, I don't know, I could get into technical things, but it's usually a lot more experimentation, and the coolest things that I've made are things that I make because it's an accident, or I'm trying to do something else, and then I end up pitching something up an octave or whatever, and all of a sudden it sounds way cooler, and then I'm oh, maybe I should just try that instead. And it's usually the coolest things, like I said, are end up being an accident or something, but most of the success I've had is when I just sit down and just kind of experiment as much as I can, or find a synth and just start with some weird sound that's already on there and just manipulate it until I find something cool, or you know. I mean, I think that specifically, like you said, that kind of snare sound is something that I feel people really notice a lot, and I feel people bring it up a lot, is oh, every time your snares are always really crazy. People ask me how I make them all the time, and I mean, I think your sound kind of develops a little bit as that's another thing where I didn't plan being oh, this is what my sound is going to be like. It's kind of just the more I produce and the more I create, the more I just kind of form habits, and then those habits, people start to recognize them over time. And so obviously I think it's really, really important. That's the reason why I think recording organic sounds or doing something original is really important, because everybody has access to the same presets, and everybody has access to the same synths and all that stuff. And while you pretty much have unlimited options to create things with the synth and with the sine wave and sawtooth and square wave and all that stuff, recording original sounds from whatever, anywhere, are going to be a lot more organic and unique. And nowadays finding something that's unique and original is a lot harder, and so I feel that's one of the best ways to do it. I mean, it was cool. I mean, I think tonight will be a better indication of the scene more than last night, just because Bali's a little bit more of a tourist destination. And so, the crowd was amazing, and everyone was partying and going super hard, but it wasn't a ton of kids who were there to go see a Nghtmre show. It was a little bit more in Vegas, where you go and everybody's there to party, but everybody, it's tons of people, super eclectic crowd, everyone really diverse, and people from all over the place. And so yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, I'm really excited. This is basically my first show here. It's definitely my first one in Jakarta, but one of my first in Indonesia. So excited to see how the crowd reacts. I mean, yeah, there's definitely guys who I've noticed have been like I've been putting a lot, like I don't know if you know Yuki, like I play, I don't know. And when I'm playing like bigger, heavier sets, like, you know, I always change my setup no matter where I'm going. But when I'm playing heavier sets, like more crazy stuff, you know, I usually have at least 3-4 of their songs in my shows. And, you know, they're one of those guys too, like you said, where their sound is like, immediately you can tell when it's a Yuki song, and it's really unique and cool. And like Crane, we had him on our bus tour. He's like a real dope trap guy. He's awesome.
Not a big fan.
Yeah, he's the man. Nice, super nice guy, like chillest guy ever. And
I was able to catch a show in Vancouver.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man, he's so cool, and he's just got like, I love like the whole like Rusty vibe and stuff like that, and he's kind of like on that tip a little bit, but it's like he's got his own thing too. So, yeah, I don't know. That's a few. There's so many. Ricky-san, I don't know if you know Ricky-san. He's the man too, and my management actually just picked him up too, which is like amazing because he's like the man. I love his music too, and he's another one. Like, I don't know. It's awesome when you love those people and then you meet them and they're just the coolest guys and they're just so nice, and it just makes you like them even more. So. Back with that hard street shit. I mean, it's a lot of like, I mean, mostly touring, but obviously I'm working on tons of music. I have, so like, End of the Night is kind of like, came out today, and it's kind of like the beginning of like all the music that's about to come out. So I have like End of the Night, then the next song I have a release with Karmata called Embrace. It's like, it'll be out in a few weeks. I did like an official remix, like original of like the Terror Squad, Fat Joe, like Lean Back song. So that'll be out in like another month, and then my EP will start right after that. So I have like my first single on that. It's called On the Run. I played it at like Ultra and stuff like that. I've got like a single with Dylan Francis on there. I've got me and Flux have another track that we've been working on. There's a million different things that I've been working on. I think I'm gonna try to do like a Nghtmre. Like, I'm doing the second Nghtmre EP thing, and then I have like probably like 7 to like 10 like collab like tracks that I've just kind of like started with people that we haven't fully finished. So I'm gonna try, if I can, by the end of the year, do like a little like Nghtmre and Friends like EP type thing, you know, where it's just like kind of all those ones that don't necessarily fit on the EP, but like I like a lot, and you know, good collaborations with people. See if I can do like a little a release like that. So yeah, I mean, I have tons of music that I'm just trying to put out, and I'm always trying to work whenever I'm at home. But yeah, most of the year is touring for me. It's like I think I have like 2 or 3 weekends off for the rest of the year, so it's gonna be busy. A little bit in Indonesia, or I mean in Bali, but I mean, we didn't, not much. I know oxtail's a big thing here. I haven't had, like, he had some today. We've only really had one meal since we got here. But, yeah, I don't know. I gotta try some. Yeah, tomorrow, I think our flight's pretty late, so hopefully we'll get a lunch and try some local foods. The craziest thing, I mean, one funny story I always tell, I was actually with Joe, and it was my first Australia tour, so it was pretty early on. I had only maybe done 20 shows total ever, and then I went to Australia to do like a 4 or 5 show, like real small, like a lot of like 400 or 500 cap rooms, and we got this like last minute request for the show in Mackay, which is like, even when I tell people in Australia I'm going to Mackay, and they're like, what are you talking about? Where is that? And it's like pretty far north, like east, and it's like a mining city, and it's like, I think it was like less than 100,000 like total population. But these guys basically who ran the club like really wanted me to go, so they just flew me out, and it was maybe like 150 cap room, and it was like a cool place, like it was, and it was like, you know, a little club area, and in the back there was just kind of like a bar almost, like, so there was like local people just kind of at the bar, and like there was one guy who was there who was just like, he looked like Slash, like the guitarist, like massive, like curly hair, like, and like he just seemed really like I don't know, like he seemed like he was either like blacked out or just on some crazy drugs, or like we didn't know what was going on. But he wasn't like causing problems. He was just kind of like walking around, like looking really hammered. And it was like such a small place that like all the fans there, we were just kind of like all like drinking and chilling together before the show. And then I like went and played, and then I came off after. We're all taking like a shot again, and he was like came up to us. And we're like, "Yo, dude, like you want a shot? Like we're about to take one." And he just kind of like looks at us for a second, like real blank stare, and then just like reaches into his mouth and like literally pulls out his front tooth, like it wasn't even like bleeding or anything. It just like fell out, and he was just like, and we're all just like, and all of us were pretty drunk too, so we were just like I kind of like looked around. I was like, did that just happen? Like I don't understand. This guy just pulled his tooth out, and I don't know. They said he was like a local like did too much drugs guy who just like is always there, and that was kind of that freaked me out a little bit. But that was definitely pretty weird. I don't know.